When you're done, come down the other side. There's going to be a photographer there taking everybody's pictures.
First he posted, it was turning the dining room into a pantry. Gone, take it up. And the next thing you know, he was selling the table. So I didn't know if it
Yeah, I know. I know.
High School, class of 2020. And welcome to Stopford Field for our graduation ceremony. If everybody could now rise and take off your hats or caps as we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing for the pledge for the national. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending our commencement ceremony for Saugus High School class of 2020. Usually I try to share insight, advice, or at least a comment, but right now the first thing that comes to mind is wow. In 30 years of education, I thought I was prepared for anything, but I fully admit this year was a shock. On Friday, March 13th, I never expected that would be the last day of Saugus High School in the current building. I knew the end of the year was coming, but this global pandemic changed all of our well-made plans. It was right then we knew the year 2020 was going to be a time of struggle and obstacles. It was Michael Jordan that said, obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. We worked immediately to find ways to make education, learning, and ultimately this graduation happen in Saugus. We shifted to a remote learning model, we moved into a new complex, and we dealt with health concerns, all while working social distancing and health and safety protocols. It was all done to keep learning alive for the students of Saugus. As we as a team shifted our focus to the seniors of the class of 2020, we had to adjust to an unexpected end to your senior year. The impact of your senior year activities was massive, but I am proud of how we all dealt with the challenges and turned them into positives. The one huge positive that came of this pandemic was how the Saugus Public Schools, the town of Saugus, and the Saugus community in general rallied around the class of 2020. The fear of many of you is that you've been forgotten during this unique period in our history. Fortunately, that is far from the case. The staff at Saugus High School, especially your two class advisors, Mr. Lanchi and Mr. Serino, the high school administrative team, our superintendent, Dr. Dave Carusi, our town manager, our state representative, Mr. Long, our school committee members, and our selectmen, all have worked tirelessly to make the end of your school year special. I want to thank them all at this time for everything that they have done to help this graduation be possible and help make your senior events that we've had possible. And I think they deserve a round of applause. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you all. I appreciate it, and I know the class does as well. I want to thank them for being here today to make this celebration possible. From the street signs around the town to our first ever car parade and our first ever drive-in event to showcase the senior video, everything has been unique. While it is far from what you expected when you started the year, your senior year will be historic. You will always remember these events I described, as well as being the last graduating class from the 2054 Saugus High School. Often in my graduation speeches, I say things like, I feel we have prepared you for the challenges in your future. Today I am sure and confident, based on the challenges you've already overcome, you will be successful. March 13th marked the end of an era in Saugus. The old building has been demolished to make way for a new sports complex. While the building is gone, your memories will last a lifetime. As your principal, I am proud of what this class has displayed through this difficult time. I hope you enjoy the ceremony, and I look forward to hearing of your future successes. Tom Brokaw said, you are educated. Your certification is your degree. You may think of that as a ticket to the good life. Let me ask you to think of an alternative. Think of it as a ticket to change the world. Good luck, and I know that you will all make us proud. Thank you. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the National Honor Society President, Jennifer Costa.
Is that better? With 3 muted, is it better? Listen after they mute 3. Can you mute 3 just for a second?
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Once I get her name on it.
It's yelling at me. Good.
Okay.
Thank you for the introduction, Mr. Hashem. Good morning, class of 2020. It's been quite some time since we've been able to all be in the same setting together. Yeah, it caught us by surprise, but we weren't expecting this so-called week-long break from school to turn into a worldwide Armageddon. It is unfortunate that the COVID pandemic, a long quarantine, and killer wasps had to impede on our last few hurrahs, but I'm filled with gratitude to be with all my classmates one last time, healthy, safe, and finally about to receive our diplomas. So how about a round of applause? Today, I'd like to address one of the most basic necessities in life, love. Plain and simple. A few years back, I heard a valedictorian speech given at another high school graduation. The student who delivered the oration was exceptionally brilliant, and his heartfelt words resonated with the crowd for a long while after they were given. The basis of his commencement speech, too, was love. My family was in awe after he stepped down from the podium, and my dad went on to explain how it must be so difficult to write about such a sensitive topic. Don't get me wrong, his articulation was phenomenal, and his words were carefully picked to form a beautiful piece of writing. But I couldn't help but think, how hard could it be to write about love? Now, maybe I couldn't have communicated my thoughts as well as he did, but man, I could go on and on about love. The way I saw it, love is just love. You're supposed to love your family, your neighbors, and the earth you live on. And that's how you get by. But it's not that simple, is it? The Greeks have several words for each different type of love. Agape, which means selfless love, is the most powerful of all, in my opinion. A love that puts your family, your neighbors, and the earth you live on above all else. It is an unconditional and accepting love, and it is the type that I'd like to discuss today. Now, since that speech was given, I've seen more of the world, I've met more people, I've had more experience, and I discovered that the reason I believed love was so effortless is because I've been given so much of it. It took me a while to fathom that not everyone can say that they've been given the TLC that I have. Hard work has played a big role in putting me where I am. But to be fair, I owe it to my family, my friends, teachers, and whoever else that has shown me kindness to give me the strength to stay up until 3 a.m. writing a lying essay. But all jokes aside, I know it can be easier to judge, keep your guards up, and scream and kick and cry. But once you realize the impact people can have on you, you'll take all the love you can get. My mother was someone who had an immensely huge heart. She had enough warmth to give to the entire world, and she lit up the room everywhere she went with her compassion. My mother taught me patience, forgiveness, and most of all, acceptance. Cancer took her life when I was just 10 years old, and you can imagine the scar that left on the hearts of me and everyone who knew her kindness. The family knew that when she left us, she would want us to be happy still, and that would give her peace. I believe that she sent us a blessing in disguise, who is now my stepmother. But I guess I may have screamed and kicked and cried for a little until I found out that she is indeed a blessing. The way I found this out was by realizing that literally anyone else would take one look at my preteen attitude and say, nope, I'm going home. And after my stepmom had shown relentless care for us, I slowly started to let my guard down and recognize her as family. I finally opened my heart to her, and she, too, accepted my crazy family as her own. And now we have a bunch more people in our life to love. The moral of this story is that acceptance is the key to a happier life, because once you break down your walls and start letting people in, you'll find a whole world of compassion and peace. It is no secret that this year has been hectic. That's an understatement. But we are in the midst of an important part of history, one that will be in our children's and grandchildren's school textbooks one day. With the commencement of 2020, bred the most significant health crisis in our lifetimes, which I'm hoping will be our last, an empowering civil rights movement, natural disasters detrimental to our environment, all with a presidential election closing in on us. At times, all this mayhem can seem to tear our communities apart. But what does this actually mean for us young adults? We're learning. We are repeating history and experiencing the content we've been taught in school firsthand. Not only are we able to discover facts about the world around us that we are being thrown into after we walk across this stage, but we are also given the opportunity to establish who we are. There is no more blending into a life you were born into and adopting ideas from people that aren't yourself. Whether you're going off to school after this, going into the military, working, providing for your family, you are now given the chance to find yourself. That being the case, choose what side of history you want to be on. This good by nature earth we live on can sometimes seem overwhelmingly poisoned with evil, and you may not believe there is much you can do about it as a single being. I beg to differ. If you feel like there is not much you can control, remember that what you can control is the love you give. You may be quick to judge people you aren't familiar with, and this makes it easier to hate. Animosity will propagate, and acts of hate from thousands of years ago still create bias in today's society. But if resentment and evil can cultivate with ease and last lifetimes, so can warmth and compassion. A little bit of compassion goes a long way. Love spreads like wildfire, and I've seen it. I see love in the care we give to our community in the time of a health crisis. I see love in the support we bestow upon strangers in the time of a humanitarian crisis. And I feel love here at Stackpole, in the crowd, in the bleachers, and up here on stage. No matter where you come from, what you look like, what you believe in, everyone shares a common bond. We're all people. We all have beating hearts and have made mistakes. It is as simple as treating people like people. And I promise you'll receive so much more love. I know that high school is a bumpy ride. You make friends, you lose friends, you ace a class, you fail a class. And teenagers can be cutthroat. It's not very easy to float under the radar. But regardless of any of that, remember the nights spent cheering in Kasabuski, or right over there in those bleachers, or in the Towers gym. Rest in peace, by the way. Remember Color Day, Founders Day, and freezing off our fingers and toes at the tree lighting together? Concerts, plays, dodgeball tournaments, prom. Oh wait. But anyways, at the end of the day, this is our home, and we've been through it all together, the good and the bad. Now more than ever, It is a perfect opportunity to lend a hand to anyone who may be struggling. You can choose the path of love right here, right now. Therefore, I challenge each and every one of you to leave behind all your baggage once you cross this stage. You no longer need any of the grudges and the hate that you formed in high school. Go into this world with a clean slate, an open mind, and an open heart. Wherever life may take you, it'll only take you part of the way with money and smarts. When you give out the love, that's when you'll end up where you really want to be. Go with love 2020. Thank you.
Just getting used to it. The next speaker is the president of Saugus High School Student Council, Jenna Lenahan.
The gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. This Chinese proverb demonstrates perseverance, and I believe encapsulates the class of 2020. To persevere is to continue in a course of action, even in the face of difficulty. And to say 2020 has been difficult would be an understatement. The year we have all had is comparable to no other. We all walked out of school on Friday, March 13th, having no idea that that would be our last time in Saugus High. We adjusted to learn remotely, we quarantined from friends and family, we missed out on the times that most high school kids look forward to for years. On the surface, this sounds horrible, and I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't upset about everything we missed out on. But at the end of the day, all of these things are merely speed bumps on the road that is our lives. After all, being able to tell our grandkids about how we graduated high school during a global pandemic will be quite the bedtime story. All of this has caused quite a bit of reflection. I've realized, and I'm sure you've all realized, that life is unpredictable and things can happen so quickly and so unexpectedly, just like this pandemic. It's given us a chance to realize all that we take for granted. We all never realized how much high school meant to us until it was taken so abruptly. And for everything we've been through during this crazy year, it will make us stronger in the end. But even though we missed out on our last 3 months of high school, we still got to experience the other 34, full of color days, sporting events, drama festivals, chorus and band concerts, Europe trips, and endless Sage and Pride. Personally, I wouldn't have changed a thing. To Miss Alonji and Mr. Serino, thank you for all the hard work you've put in over the past 4 years and the even harder work you've put in the last 4 months. It's no easy task to be a class advisor, and it's even harder when we need to go back to the drawing board on things we've had planned since the beginning of junior year. You guys are truly amazing, and thank you for never giving up on us. And to my parents, thank you for everything. Thank you for always supporting me in everything I do, and thank you for raising me so well. I would not be the woman I am today without you. To the class of 2020, we did it. A little over a month ago, we didn't even know if we were going to have a proper graduation. So just us being here together today is something to be happy for. We've all worked so hard, we persevered, we're all finally getting our moment. High school may be over, but we don't stop here. We are entering a post-pandemic world greatly in need of our help. Whatever path you each decide to take from here on out, dedicate yourself to it. Work hard, dream big, don't give up. We've accomplished so much already, why stop now? While the quote I began with regarded our past and our present, I would like to end with a quote for our futures. As Maya Angelou once said, "Live with life, be courageous, adventurous. Give us a tomorrow more than we deserve." Congratulations, class of 2020. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Saugus High School Class of 2020 Valedictorian, Matthew Laney.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. Hashem, for your introduction. Good morning, everybody. First, I would like to thank the Saugus School Committee, Superintendent David DeRosie, and the Saugus High School Administration for their efforts in these unprecedented times. Furthermore, I would like to thank the Saugus High School faculty for dealing with us for the past 4 years. You each deserve an award of your own. Finally, I would like to thank my family, and specifically my grandpa, who left us in 2013, but taught me the Marine Corps fighting spirit and is the single greatest inspiration in my life up until this day. Semper Fi, hoorah, Grampy. Hope I made you proud. With the thank yous out of the way, now I will turn to all of you sitting right in front of me, the class of 2020. Congratulations, everyone. We actually made it. We did it. We have so much to be proud of. First, I'm going to be absolutely upfront and honest here right now. I had no idea what I was supposed to write when I sat down to write this thing. I thought to myself, like, what even is a valedictorian address supposed to be about? I'll answer the question. It's supposed to be like a farewell address, but I didn't know that at the time. But I thought to myself, like, am I supposed to be like a WikiHow page, like 5 easy steps on how to be academically successful with pictures? Like, am I Google? No. I also thought, man, I have to be not have to be that relatively boring and plain guy that I typically am. Now, I'm going to be completely truthful. This was the hardest assignment I have ever been assigned, to leave a lasting impact on everybody here, you the graduates. As I started to build an idea for this speech back in February, things started to change in the world. Started hearing about this virus, and then all of a sudden, the country was at a standstill. As global events progressed and seeing everyone's reactions, I knew exactly the direction I wanted to go with this. Initially, I began writing this speech in April, and then by June I was editing this speech during downtime at work at Nikki's, and then I finally had a speech I was okay with, so bear with me, people. I always knew that our class was special. There was something about us from the beginning, but I could never really figure it out. Was it our kindness and inclusiveness? Was it our sense of humor? We always just seemed to blend together in this really satisfying way, kind of like a smoothie. But I seriously could never figure it out. It never came clear to me. And then the pandemic hit. What started off as a minor inconvenience quickly became the decimator of something that is so precious, significant, and important to every American high school student, our senior year. These memories were painfully and mercilessly ripped away from us, and it hurts. I personally never felt a pain quite like this one, losing the things I had been looking forward to for the past 4 years. And it's still hurting, and will most likely continue to hurt. However, we must look at this from the other end now. We're the most special class of students that ever graced the halls of Saugus High School. When we could have just given up because it was the end of our year anyway, we continued to press on in remote learning. We still participated in a virtual Spirit Week. We were all in contact with each other, offering forms of support in any way we could. What does that say about a group of people? After analyzing this, I can pinpoint what it was that was so special about us, our sense of unity. We've had a strong sense of unity since the start of high school. I mean, for example, freshman year, we united to win the Penny Wars, a difficult feat for any freshman class. Sophomore year, we united in the new sophomore house, where we all had to adjust to a new organization of the school. Junior year, we united to take home Best Decorations at Color Day, another difficult task for a class that's not a senior class. And as for senior year, we united to prevail in Color Day. We united to win every category of Spirit Week by a landslide. And when times got tougher than anyone could have ever predicted, we united once more in a way that no class has ever done before. And finally, we united once again in the wake of social unrest and took the situation head on. We stood in the face of uncertainty and we conquered it. Did we have to sacrifice things? Yeah. But with these sacrifices, we've gained an improved sense of optimism and confidence. And in the end, here we all are. We're all going to get diplomas. I'm still standing here speaking. If it's one thing I'll remember about this class, it'll be our sense of unity. We are most certainly one class. In the words of former President Theodore Roosevelt, do what you can with what you have where you are. And we did exactly that. We adapted, and we succeeded in the end. This speaks volumes to what kind of adults that we are becoming. We clearly demonstrated the ability to adapt to a situation and overcome it. You should be proud to someday answer the question, hey, what year did you graduate? With the answer, 2020. Now, class of 2020, we must apply the lessons from the past 4 years into our futures. And this lesson applies to each one of us. You will succeed. For example, I got here. I've had this dream to be speaking to you at this podium right here, right now, since I started high school. And despite everything, every obstacle before the pandemic and now during, I got here. Whatever your here is, you will get there. Know that when times get challenging, you have the ability to take control of the situation and conquer it. You will have done it before in a situation unlike anything the world has ever seen. And for my classmates, they may be able to take our senior year, our activities, and our time together, but no one can ever take away our new lessons and our newly formed identities. Remember who you are and what you learned about yourself during these times. They can take away anything, cancel everything, but the one thing that will never be taken away is sachem pride. Always be proud of what you have achieved and look forward to what you will accomplish. I wish each and every one of you the best in your future endeavors. I love you guys, class of 2020. And always remember, we are one 2020.
And now I'd like to introduce to you all the class of 2020 salutatorian, Ronald DiBiasio.
Thank you, Mr. Hashem, for that introduction. Good afternoon, fellow classmates, teachers, administrators, and family members. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate this important milestone that my classmates and I have been working tirelessly to achieve for the past, well, lifetime. For the entirety of our scholastic careers in the Saugus public school system, we have seen the year 2020 in our school email every time we logged into a Chromebook or really did anything school-related. After seeing this countless times, many of you have probably thought, huh, we're really graduating in 2020? Okay, well maybe it was just me. I always imagined that in the year 2020, I'd feel grown up, ready for the road ahead of me. I'd get to enjoy my senior year, the best year. But then 2020 happened. A worldwide pandemic broke out for the first time since 2009. And yet, it was unlike anything we had ever seen. School got shut down, which was cool at first, but then got old fairly quickly. Fast forward 4 months, we're having our graduation in July, and it seems weird I'm not wearing a mask right now. It is undoubtable that this year has shown us all a lot, but hopefully we have all learned a lot as well. 8 months ago, my only worry was applying to college. I just kept telling myself to push through, and then once this was over, and have the rest of my senior year to relax and have fun before leaving Saugus High. And as you all know, that isn't quite what happened. This year has already demonstrated an accurate picture of what life can be like. Once you're done facing one storm, it isn't always smooth sailing afterwards. And well, sometimes there's nothing you can really do to stop the next wave from coming at you full speed. As any Bear Grylls meme has ever taught us, you must improvise, adapt, and overcome any and all obstacles that come your way. So far, I believe that we have done just that. By working together on a global level, we have minimized damage, adjusted to the circumstances at hand, and overall made the best of what we have. In the same way, the 2020 has shown us how fast something can be thrown at us. It has also shown us how fast things can be taken from us. Whether this was our last spring sports season, our senior prom, or merely enjoying the last few walks through the old Saugus High, and taking in all its glory before it gets torn down. The last time we walked out of Saugus High and raced to our cars at the 1:50 bell, we didn't know it would be the last. We didn't have the chance to take one final walk through our school and reminisce on all of the experiences the walls of SHS has given us. I'm sure everyone here remembers when they used to take waking up at 6 a.m. for granted, or seeing all of your friends in the same place all at once. I know I did. Looking back on my time at Saugus High, I can safely say that there is nowhere else I would rather have gone to high school, which is why it's so difficult to accept that our time was cut short. However, like anything in life, all good things must come to an end, whether you're expecting it or without warning. Our senior year was just a glimpse of how fast experiences can become memories. I'm sure we can all picture the Towers gym covered with red posters for Color Day. We can all hear cocks screaming in the hall at 7:30. And most importantly, we can all feel the bonds of friendship we have made with each other throughout the last 4 years. And just as Andy Bernard said, I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. But let us not be sad about leaving Saugus High School. This year has shown us that the future can quite literally hold anything for us. So strap on your seatbelts, because it's the beginning of an unpredictable new decade. But I am confident that we will succeed. I mean, we have already graduated during the worst global pandemic in recent times. Class of 2020. The world relies on us to create a better future for years to come. No matter what path you pursue, have confidence, have faith, and trust yourself. Take risks, follow what you believe in, but never lose sight of those around you. We would not be standing here today if it weren't for the collaborative efforts of millions of people. Remember these times, both the good and the bad, and learn from them. But never be discouraged from any obstacle that dares stand in your way. Saugus High School has taught us too much to shy away. And remember, once a sachem, always a sachem. Thank you.
I do want to thank the 4 speakers that you already heard today. They did an excellent job. I did thank, and I will thank again, all the members of the community that helped us make this day possible and make what you had for Senior Week possible. I again want to thank the members of the school committee, the members of the district administration, the members of the Saugus High administration, Saugus High School staff, the selectmen, the town manager, and everybody that put this all together and made this possible. It was not an easy task by any stretch, and certainly as a principal, that it wasn't something I was positive we would be able to pull off, and I'm so glad that we did. I also want to thank once again the 2 class advisors, Ms. Alongi and Mr. Serino, who had to do a lot more work than typically class advisors have to do to make this possible. But I did, in the original introduction, leave out one person that definitely helped out way more than I would have thought of. The adults all came together and made it possible for you to graduate at this field. I was going to say on time, but it's 7 weeks late. But made all these events possible. And it goes a long way to say, I'm not sure that the drive-in would have been possible, or the car parade would have been possible, or any of it would have been possible without the tireless work and the dedication of your class president, Kylie Ronan. And I just wanted to thank her, and I think that you as a group were lucky to have probably the finest president of a senior class in Saugus High School history. I now introduce your class president, Kylie Ronan.
Thank you, Mr. Hashem. Good morning, teachers, students, family, and friends. For those of you who don't know me, I am Kylie Ronan, the senior class president. On behalf of the senior class, I would like to thank all the people involved in making Saugus High School excellent. To the administration for keeping order within our school and making the tough calls when needed, we thank you. To the faculty who put their students first and who sacrificed to ensure that we were getting the most out of our education, we thank you. To the staff who work tirelessly to plan events and do everything they can to support us, we thank you. To each member of each family represented in the senior class who have aided them in their success with love and support, we thank you. To Alongi and Serino, you two have worked so hard and dedicated so much of your time for our class, which has not gone unnoticed or unappreciated. We thank you. Mom and Dad, I would not be standing up here today if it wasn't for you guys. Thank you for encouraging me and believing in me. And for everyone here today, thank you all for coming out to celebrate. Now to my class, class of 2020. We are special. We entered the world in the midst of 9/11 and are venturing into adulthood during a pandemic. Never in our wildest dreams did we see us ending high school this way, and although it's a month and 20 days later than expected, here we are. We did it. Congratulations, class of 2020. In the past, senior year would entail a lot of lasts. Last first day of school, last sports game, last improv show, and so on. And that remains true for us. However, our senior year also had a lot of firsts. First ever graduation parade, first drive-in senior video, and the first time for a graduation like this. We are historic in so many ways. One of them being that we're the last class to graduate from the old Saugus High School. I can't even tell you how many people approach me with, "You must be so excited to be in that new school." Truth is, the building never mattered. Although it may be old and run down, it's a special place that holds all of our memories from the last 4 years. Nothing will replace sneaking Dunk's coffee into school in the morning or piling into Bond's room for the air conditioner. Our school was never perfect, but it had character. Heaters that sounded like something was living inside, and buckets on the floor catching the leaks from the ceiling. Ah, Saugus High School. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure the new school will be great with its fancy outdoor classrooms and multiple bathrooms with doors on the stalls, but it will always lack the authenticity of the old school. When that got torn down, so many traditions went with it, one of them being Color Day. All those late nights spent painting or putting together dances. They say it doesn't matter where you are, but who you are with that makes life special, and that's how it was with Saugus High. It wasn't the quality of the school, it was the teachers, students, and people inside. We cherished our time there, but who would have known it would be cut so short? Things changed quickly for our class, but it taught us many life lessons along the way. I know some of you are thinking, who cares about life lessons? We missed out on prom and so much more. I'm here to tell you that as much as we lost, we have also gained. We gained confidence to know that we can survive and thrive when life changes so quickly. We gained the opportunity to show our community we can be innovative when things don't go as planned. We are smart and strong and able to address issues face to face with dignity. We've experienced change and adapted. We've dealt with adversity and overcame it. Class of 2020, we never needed the best of anything, but we made the best of everything. Every person graduating today should be proud of their resilience and ability to stay positive. I know I am. Don't ever doubt your ability to persevere. Things are not put in your way to stop you, they're put in your way to test you. So pass the test. Be unstoppable. Too often we spend our lives waiting. Seems we are always planning for better days ahead and missing out on the moments we are in. When you really think about it, life is just time. Days, months, and years strung together. That is one lesson the class of 2020 learned this year. The value of time. Learning this at such a young age is a gift. It means we can reflect, change how we think, and really begin to enjoy each moment. So take that gift and apply it every day. There's this misconception that everybody has. The idea that living the longest means you got the most out of your life. However, I think Abraham Lincoln's words hold more substance. He said, "In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years." So live for today, and remember, paths are made by walking, not waiting. Class of 2020, you are special. You have spent the last 4 years preparing for this day, and although it looks a little different, here we are. So celebrate today. Enjoy it. Admire all that you've done and all that you've accomplished. But get ready. The world you're about to enter in is going to challenge you, but it's nothing you're not prepared for. Graduating high school is just the beginning of all you will do. One of my favorite quotes from Grey's Anatomy explains it best. This is your starting line. This is your arena. How well you play, that's up to you. Go out, play hard, and by the end, make sure you're able to say you gave it your all every day. Congratulations, class of 2020. It has been an honor being your class president for the last 4 years, and I wish you the best of luck in all that you do.
Thank you. And now the time you've all been waiting for, the presentation of diplomas.
Maybe it was.
Andrew Aguilar. Kimberly Elizabeth Aiello. Nicholas Paul Alba. Alec Daniel Aldrin. Maha Obeid Salam Al-Muhari. Jalen Angel An. Vanessa Chantal Andujar.
There were like multiple.
Bruno Jose Ozek. Jeremy Esmond Barbosa. Michelle Lee Borowski. Emily Jean Berry. Jocelyn Benavides. Christopher Gabriel Benoit. Ariana Elizabeth Bentley Jett. Michael Earl Bertrand. Taylor Hersey Bogdansky. Brandon Nicholas Borda. Giovanna Borges Boursois. Sky Ashley Bork. Paige Rose Boyer. Nicholas James Bradley. Adam Stanley Brown. Karina Lynn Brown. Riley Connor Burke. Jennifer Camacho. Colleen McKenna Cameron. Annalicia Ray Campbell. Robert James Camuso Jr. Alexander Brian Can. Michael John Carney. Mackenzie Grace Karen. Sherilyn Marie Chadwick. Ali Chabon. Justin Brian Champa. Jared Dexter Koffel. Alexander Cologne. Cordelia Rose Cook. Christian Miguel Correa. Marissa Correa. Jennifer Grace Costa. Emily Rose Creador. Louis Richard D'Amico. Seth Leo D'Antona. Leticia Horst De Silva. Nicholas Goncalves De Silva. Brooke Ann Daly. Jack William DeSimone. Mario Allen DeSimone. DJ DeThomas. Jack Brian Devereaux. Ronald DiBiasio. Julie Ann DePietro. Felipe Breda dos Reis. Calypso Vanessa Duncan. Paul Vu Duong. Joseph Ryan Dusablon. Happy birthday. William Whaling Ear. Nicholas Suri Eck. Malik James Anasari. Ariana Marie Eveleth. Justin Enrique Fajardo. Zachary Christopher Falasca. Lucas Neves Ferreira. Marlon Luis Figueroa. Ava Eileen Fiorino. Joseph Richard Flynn. Nicholas Roger Franco. Monica Ann Frizella. Jennifer Goncalves. Jacob Richard Goodwin. Molly Grace Granara. Shaylin Elizabeth Rourke. David Andres Guillema. Riley Ann Harkins. Brooke Julia Harris. Aaron Christopher Hernandez. Jake Edward Hogan. Timothy George Hogan. Harvey Husha. Brian T. Hun.
Nicholas Jeffrey Israelson. Thomas Ronald Jarose. Marvin's K. Weiner Jean. Victoria Rose Johnson. Dejiana Lee Jones. Nicholas Jones. Errol Colin Keddick. Lorenzo Joseph Keegan. Zachary Amar Kesbia. Brandon Piron Kath. Adrian Anastasia Kuhn. Carolyn Brooke LaMontagne. Matthew Ray Laney. Jessica Lima. Jenna Susan Linehan. Brandon Austin McCush. Gianna Rose McConey. Jasley Alexandra Maldonado. Rebecca Lynn Manning. Derek Stephen Martineau. Mariana Angelina Morris. Richard Edward Morrow. Kian Freelove McCabe. Brendan David McCabe. Sarah Jean McGonigal. Joseph Leonard Medeiros. Julia Felicia McCosey. Lisbeth Manaya. Carl Paul Daniel Moyes. Niley Kendra Moyes. Shama Lucienda L. Moyes. Colin Michael Maloney. Robert Michael Moody. Nathan Michael Mosconi. Jessica Grace Nazaro. Isabella Davalos Nearings. Ashley Diane Nelson. Kenneth Kenechukwu Okoye. Emma Ruth Pearson. Joseph Michael Perez. Abigail Jean Petapa. Ashlyn Ray Picard. Kevin Pierre. Mia Anita Poggio. Daniel Nathan Pombrian. Rebecca Susan Prezioso. Jillian Marie Recupero. Argenis Rodriguez. Steve Jose Rodriguez. Kylie Shannon Ronan. Margaret Victoria Rosalez Marquez. Reese Carzan Soleil. Josue Miguel Salazar. Marcos Jose Salazar. Victoria Gomes Santos. Gianna Hannah Santos. Samuel Sadler. Vincent Salvatore Scuduto. Sean Michael Schofer. Mark Anthony Shenna. Marie Stephanie Spear. Krista Elena Silipini. Jaden Ty Sissenton. Chandler Jaden Smith. Ava Catherine Sorrentino. Nicholas Maurice St. John. Elizabeth Grace Starkey. Christopher John Surrett. Kyle William Tomorrow. Lena T. Ty. Seth Gregory Thomason. Antonia Marie Turilli. Stephanie Denise Vargas. Orlame Vaz. Fabio Vreca. Paul William Webster. Caitlin Elizabeth Wood. Oleg Vitalyevich Zakorikin.
John Hashem within 6 years. And then get that in.
Graduates, you may now stand and move your tassels from the right side to the left. Congratulations, class of 2020. You are now dismissed.